Here to do this again, as it's another informative and impactful time with me on Gate Radio Communications. The program is Optimizing Opportunities in the Ethiopian banking sector, and I'm your anchor, Abiodun Barry. Welcome, everyone. I believe we've begun to see the benefits associated with being involved in the Ethiopian banking sector. Talking about opportunities for foreign banks to come in and take advantage of the low banked population and create value for their shareholders. Talking of opportunities for organizations to work with foreign banks, for seamless integration into the system. And of course, we at Amogate are always handy with our over a decade experience of working in the Ethiopian banking sector and the Ethiopian economy. We are sure to add value to the required processes necessary for participation with adequate grasp of the socio-cultural nuances. We are best bet when it comes to investing in Ethiopia, or specifically participating in the Ethiopian banking sector. That being said, we do a quick review of what we pulled out last time out. Yes, we were able to look at the benefits, outweighing the skepticism as it concerns the transition of the Ethiopian economy. Talking about the participation of foreign banks in the Ethiopian banking sector. All right. So we know that yes, we have the allure of benefits of better competition. We have competitive interest rates on loans. That we provide broader access. To banking services, which inevitably lead to enhanced financial inclusion, of course, and there will be influx of foreign direct investment. Talking about organizations, institutions that have affiliations with foreign banks will have the confidence to participate in the Ethiopian economy, seeing that foreign banks that they have confidence in, foreign banks that they are affiliated with, actually participating in the Ethiopian banking sector. So of course there will also be innovative products, tailor-made products targeting inclusion, targeting underserved communities, underserved groups, disadvantaged groups, especially poor rural women. So, but the emphasis is that despite the skepticism as per the future of Sharia compliant banking, the future of interest rate banking, and how small Ethiopian banks will actually be able to navigate the dynamics, or talking about the internal issues that still persist in Ethiopia, be it economic or political or security issues. So despite all those skepticisms, I believe that the benefits far outweigh those reservations, those fears, and that Ethiopians are actually coming into the party and the reforms. Talking about the homegrown economic reform agenda of the Ethiopian government is in good stead. All right. And it's something that should be supported, because you look at of the disadvantages that actually accompany not actually transiting. Talking of individuals not being able to achieve the necessary living standards. Talking about acquiring education and specialized skills to get better jobs and improve their lives and improve the lives of their families, and talking about SMEs and entrepreneurs, micro enterprises having access to the right financial tools to be able to finance their creativity, their aspirations, their innovation. And all those things have larger implications for private sector growth and, of course, overall inclusive growth and economic development. So in as much as we are optimistic about the reforms, that the reforms are actually a step in the right direction we will not fail to address the concerns of skeptics. Okay, and looking at what I call the game changer, the document, the banking proclamation published by the National Bank of Ethiopia in December 2024. Looking at that document, I don't think it actually impedes interest-free banking going forward. Okay, I don't think that it upends the existing framework for interest-free banking in Ethiopia. So the fears for me are not so founded, and not founded and well grounded. Okay, and I believe that smaller banks, smaller Ethiopian banks, can actually go into merger or acquisition talks. All right, to be able to ride the wave of competition. All right, rather than being crushed under such a tide. All right, so. And I believe that the Ethiopian government is on the right path to actually having a grip on the issues. Talking about economic issues, is it a debt issue, which are able to achieve some debt settling, and talking about the inflation, which has been largely tamed, right, and the political and security situation too. And I believe that largely the government is containing the situation, and I think they can only get better. And I don't think there should be a perfect situation and a Dorado before these reforms are made, and while the government is working to improve the situation economically, politically, and security-wise, I believe that these reforms can run simultaneously alongside. And so, generally, the benefits are far outweigh the cost, and the risks, the concerns, the fears could be well mitigated, well managed. Okay, so that the objectives of the reform agenda of Prime Minister Ali is actually achieved. Okay, with apt implementation. All right. So we also look at what investors are able to get in terms of having value added to their investments. All right, and then the government and the good people of Ethiopia having an improved economy as a result of the investment, as a result of the influx of foreign direct investment, as a result of improved, enhanced financial inclusion. All right, and of course you also have organizations and firms who will work seamlessly with foreign banks in their quest to participate in the Ethiopian banking sector, to ensure that they have value added to these processes. Okay, and of course, I like to reiterate that Amaget has the right experience, maybe to help optimize those processes for new organizations. Okay, and we continue to look at how the enhanced financial inclusion, as a benefit of foreign banks' participation in the Ethiopian banking sector. Okay, how the enhanced financial inclusion will benefit, the Ethiopian people, the Ethiopian economy, and of course add value to investors' commitments, add value, so that operators of foreign banks, the managers, can actually get a value for the investments of their shareholders. Okay, so the financial inclusion situation, having an enhanced financial inclusion situation, is a desirable situation, is a desirable product. All right, and the opportunities really exist, although much has been done in improving financial inclusion, but there is still a long way to go. So these gaps actually present opportunities for foreign banks when they come in. Bringing out tailor-made products that target the unbanked and underserved communities, unbanked and underbanked groups, to be able to bring them in, ensuring access and use of financial products. Okay, So importantly, we continue to explore the status and the dynamics in the context of achieving a path towards enhanced financial inclusion in the Ethiopian banking sector. Okay, so it's very, very important that a good grasp and a deep understanding of the issues, okay, is hard, okay, because that will actually enable stakeholders optimize their footprints as regards taking advantage of the opportunities stemming from the pursuit of enhanced financial inclusion. Okay, so talking about financial inclusion being at the heart, of ensuring inclusive growth and economic development, as part of the homegrown economic reform agenda of the Ethiopian government. Okay, and of course, very important for us to talk about the national financial inclusion strategy. All right, talking about significant regulatory and financial infrastructure to actually infrastructure improvements in order to attain enhanced financial inclusion. Okay, so talking about improvements to the regulatory and financial infrastructure. Okay, so as to attain enhanced financial inclusion. Okay, so very important to take advantage of new opportunities, and levers, okay, that are emerging across the board, across the political and socioeconomic spectra. All right, so of course the need to actually quicken to expedite that process of integrating the unbanked and underserved communities into the formal financial system. All right. So, like I said earlier, even though the banked population has increased considerably, talking about some 23% in 2016 to about 41% in 2022, Ethiopia still ranks very low compared to other countries neighboring it. Okay, compared to its neighbors, and as well when you look at the average, sub-Saharan average, Ethiopia's numbers are lower. All right. So, the look at how this actually manifests, and first to look at the gender disparity. The gender disparity is really a major factor, and as of 2022, about 51% of men, were banked, and 30% of women were actually banked. All right. So, and the disparity of 21 percentage points that we have now is a vast increase from the 10 percentage points that was the disparity in 2016. Okay, so look at a widening gender gap, and to really understand this scenario, you have to understand the socioeconomic and cultural and structural factors that actually account for the widening gender gap. Okay, very important. The socioeconomic, the cultural, okay, and the structural factors that account for widening the gender gap. Okay, and you understand that this kind of factors actually account for a kind of a bandwagon effect, because when you have something that is cultural, is the preponderance is high, and when people walk in the same direction, okay, it actually has a bigger effect on the economy. When people are behaving the same way, or purchasing the same products, or having the same cultural beliefs, maybe that's okay. Women are not meant to be so much seen, okay, so much heard, and talking about other things like the economic empowerment, talking about access to economic and digital resources and tools, okay, and of course opportunities. All right. So, and of course, look at the level of participation in the economy too. Okay, you have more women being involved in self-serving domestic affairs. All right, and and they are more or less able to get by without being involved in the formal financial system. You have many of these women actually living their lives as maybe as an offshoot of their male counterparts. Okay, and look at even the level of education too, and that is even more profound in the gender disparity, because you have women with primary school even education, they haven't the same level of financial inclusion as men with no education. Okay, and talking about using educations from estimated financial inclusion correlates. All right, so of course, so you have that men are more educated than their women counterparts. All right, and of course the employment gap too. The employment gap too is also a factor that actually contributes to the gender gap as regards financial inclusion. You have more men who are in employment that will actually require them to engage, interact with the formal financial services system, financial system. Okay, so and because they have to use services, they have to access resources. Okay, through the formal financial system. It might just be maybe that their salary is being paid, or bills that have to be deducted, their taxes, and so on and so forth. So that is actually a factor too that is actually profound, okay, in determining and accounting for the gender gap. And also the general level of education too is also a crucial factor. You have 94% of adults who have post-secondary or post-high school education are banked, while just 25% of adults with no education at all are banked. Talking about that disparity, accounting for that financial inclusion gap. Of course, those who are domiciled in rural areas have their situation aggravated, and you have 2/3 of rural dwellers still remain unbanked, even though 20% of the unbanked rural population actually entered the formal financial system between 2019 and 2022. That's a remarkable jump. Despite that jump, too, you still have 2/3 of rural dwellers still unbanked in Ethiopia. Such opportunity for banking. So the situation is such that savings in the formal financial system has actually been on the rise, rising from 18% in 2016 to 24% in 2022. And that is actually higher than the 23% average for developing countries and 16% in sub-Saharan Africa. Okay, and contrastingly, the level of loans given out has actually reduced to about 3% as at 2022. So we look at the direction for policymakers, the direction for business strategists to be able to do what is optimal. Okay, to be able to bring out optimal policies. Business strategies, optimal business strategies that actually target financial inclusion, okay, geared towards enhancing financial inclusion. First, we look at the creation of channels that are not impeded by time or cost or distance or product type or even the quality of service. All right, so the use of the innovation and adaptation, as well as the awareness of our digital finance products, okay, to be able to create diversified channels to allow access and use even by the most excluded groups. Okay, talking about the poor rural women, they're usually the most excluded group, in Ethiopia. All right, so talking about the creation of diversified channels. Okay, we actually enhance inclusion. So policymakers, business strategists, should actually address this factor. All right, and of course the expansion of financial service access points. Okay, financial service points or financial access points. All right, so that you have enough to be able to have that access, to be able to enhance access and stimulate use. Okay, and also we will not forget the role of agent banking. All right, reaching the disconnected poor in rural areas to enhance financial inclusion. All right, last episode we talked about the training done by the United Nations Capital Development Fund and the MSC Global Consulting, who are jointly organized a 5-week training for selected financial service providers and non-financial institutions to equip them with the knowledge and skills to enhance delivery of agency banking and performance management in order to promote financial inclusion. That was between October and November 2023. Okay, talking about how agency banking is an effective tool for expanding financial access, as a gateway to enhancing financial inclusion. All right, so how agency banking enables financial service providers to reach remote and difficultly terrained areas, providing essential and relevant products and services to excluded and underserved groups and communities. So, and there's quite some work to be done in agency banking in Ethiopia, although that has actually increased from 3 per 100,000 adults in 2016 to 7 per 100,000 adults in 2020. All right, so I'm also talk about targeting the human capital elements. All right, whether it's overall level of education or improving financial literacy itself. My advocacy, I'll be talking of community engagement, and inculcating it in the secondary school curriculum or high school curriculum. Okay, so talking about basic knowledge of savings, investments, and basic portfolio management. So I'm talking about trainings, symposia, seminars, and creating that level of awareness in society and upping the level of financial literacy and in society. All right, so targeting the human capital element too is a way to go for policy makers, Ethiopian policy makers, and of course business strategies. Okay, because financial inclusion, enhanced financial inclusion will of course lead to enhanced added value for foreign banks, for their investors, for their shareholders. All right, so. And also talking about the investments and the improvement of digital technology across the board to enable disadvantaged groups access and utilize financial products and services. All right, so that's quite important, not just for the overall economy, all right, but also for the banking health. All right, and with the increase and improved digital technology, we have increase in account ownership, especially with the use of mobile phone technology. All right, so you have most people that have mobile phones can easily open accounts. All right, so and of course the improvements in payments and settlement system too, and you also have a seamless savings, as a result of the expanded digital technology. Okay, access to credit services and even non-collateralized facilities. All right, so, loans of short-term or tailor-made loans that target low-income individuals for them to get by and be able to finance their micro enterprises. All right, so that will also enhance use of the formal financial system. Okay, because they are getting some of service from the system. All right, so that will actually encourage them to use the formal financial services. So policymakers, business strategists should target access to and the use of mobile phones, by poor rural women. All right. Poor women, I emphasize poor rural women because I believe they are the most disadvantaged of all groups, and once they are being carried along, once they are being able to provided for, that the level of inclusion will increase considerably, because that is the group that is actually dragging the average down. Alright, so, and I believe that they should be well targeted, and I love products. Innovative products will be brought by new banks, foreign banks are coming into the Ethiopian economy. Products that will target these groups, especially the poor rural women, to be able to make them financial. Yes, at this juncture, let us draw the curtain on today's episode. But please do remember that at Amogate, we are always ready to help and support your organizations to work optimally, creating frameworks and processes for optimization of resources and attainment of goals. You can contact us on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram at Amogate, and also subscribe to our YouTube page at Amogate. You can also visit our website at www.theamogate.org. Our email is contact@theamogate.org. I hope the time we spent together has been impactful, because from my end, it's been a pleasure. Until I come up on your devices again, it's bye for now, and God bless. Thank you.